Imagine just for a moment that the most powerful tool for living a meaningful, fulfilled life isn't something you can buy, earn, or receive from others. Instead, it's already within you, waiting to be discovered and harnessed. This isn't just a hypothetical thought. It's a reality grounded in the wisdom of Stoicism. This philosophy has guided countless people through the ages, helping them live with purpose, resilience, and inner peace. Stoicism teaches us that a well-lived life doesn't rely on external achievements or material success, but rather on mastering the art of self-value through virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's a potent reminder that, despite the chaos and challenges in the outside world, we have an unshakable foundation for our own happiness and well-being within ourselves. This journey involves peeling away layers of societal expectations and self-doubt to uncover timeless Stoic principles that can transform how we see ourselves and our place in the world. But this is about more than just self-improvement. It's a process of rediscovering our inherent worth and learning to live in harmony with our deepest values. So, if you're ready to unlock the doors to personal freedom, resilience, and fulfillment, you're in the right place. Together, we'll explore how the wisdom of Stoicism can illuminate the path to valuing ourselves like never before. All I ask is that you don't skip any part of this video. If you're here, consider yourself different from the majority, an exception, so act like it. Don't skip any of this content. We've all been guilty of settling at some point, whether it's staying in an unfulfilling job, sticking around in relationships that don't uplift us, or not pursuing our dreams due to fear. We settle, we compromise, we convince ourselves that this is as good as it gets. But why? Is it fear? Comfort? Or maybe a bit of both? Stoicism teaches us that our true worth, our essence, shouldn't be swayed by external circumstances. Whether we're in a palace or a prison, Stoicism reminds us that what truly defines us is not our situation, but how we respond to it. It's about understanding that while we can't control every aspect of our lives, we always have power over our perceptions, judgments, and actions. Think about it, when we accept less than we deserve, aren't we essentially saying that our external circumstances have more power over us than we do? Stoicism challenges that notion, urging us to ask, is this situation in line with my values? If the answer is no, Stoicism doesn't leave us in despair. Instead, it empowers us to change our perception, choose our response, and transform our reality. So when you find yourself settling, remember this Stoic wisdom. Your worth isn't determined by your job title, your relationship status, or the balance in your bank account. It's defined by your ability to stay true to your values and act with courage, wisdom, and integrity, regardless of circumstances. This isn't about blaming ourselves for our situations, but empowering ourselves to seize the control we do have. Let's not settle, not out of entitlement, but because we recognize our inherent worth. Let's face life's challenges with strength and resilience, grounded in a clear sense of who we are and what we stand for. When we do that, we're not just surviving, we're thriving in true Stoic fashion. Stoicism, with its profound understanding of human nature, doesn't encourage ego or arrogance. Instead, it promotes an honest recognition of our own efforts and virtues. Acknowledging our achievements isn't about feeding our pride, but about respecting the hard work, discipline, and perseverance it took to get there. It's about honoring our commitment to our goals and values. In Stoicism, virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance are central. When you achieve something, no matter how big or small, it's often because you've exercised these virtues. Perhaps it took courage to apply for a job, wisdom to navigate challenges, or discipline to complete a task. When we attribute our success to luck or diminish it, we're undervaluing both the outcome and the virtues we practice to reach it. How do we shift this mindset? The Stoic approach is all about balance and honesty, recognizing our achievements as reflections of our effort and virtues, not as fuel for our ego, but as a testament to truth. So think about a recent achievement, no matter its size, and acknowledge the virtues you practiced to accomplish it. This isn't about self-congratulation, but about recognizing your true character and effort. This Stoic practice encourages us to move away from false modesty and toward a genuine appreciation of our strengths and capabilities. It's a familiar scenario, isn't it? Staying late at work to help a colleague, skipping a morning workout to make breakfast for family, or putting personal dreams on hold for others. These sacrifices may feel noble, but constantly putting others first at the cost of our well-being can lead to burnout, resentment, and a loss of self. It's like trying to pour from an empty cup. Stoicism doesn't promote detachment or selfishness. It values virtue and societal betterment, but it also teaches the importance of self-care. Caring for oneself isn't selfish. It's the foundation for effectively caring for others. Stoicism reminds us that to truly serve others, we first need to be in a good place ourselves, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So, how do we find this balance? It starts with recognizing that self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It means setting boundaries, making time for activities that replenish us, and saying no when needed, not out of self-indulgence but as a commitment to being our best selves for those we care about. I encourage you to find one way this week to prioritize your well-being. Remember, this act of self-care isn't just for you. It's a way to ensure that when you do show up for others, you're showing up as the best version of yourself. Stoicism teaches us to view ourselves objectively, acknowledging both our strengths and virtues, just as honestly as we acknowledge our weaknesses. Consider for a moment that assessing ourselves with clarity and fairness, rather than ego or insecurity, is central to understanding our worth. Why do so many of us struggle with compliments? Often it's because we view ourselves through a distorted lens, fixating on imperfections or fearing that acknowledging our strengths makes us arrogant. But from a Stoic perspective, humility isn't about denying our abilities. It's about recognizing them honestly. Stoicism reminds us that our value isn't lessened by acknowledging our achievements. In fact, accepting compliments with grace builds self-awareness and objectivity, letting us see our virtues and the efforts we've invested. When someone praises us, they're usually seeing something genuine, something worth admiring. If we dismiss such moments, we miss the chance to understand our impact through someone else's eyes. So, how can we become better at receiving compliments? It starts with a shift in mindset. When someone offers praise, think of it as a mirror reflecting your virtues and efforts. Instead of brushing it off, pause to consider the truth in their words. Practicing a simple "thank you" can be powerful. No downplaying or deflection, just gratitude for the recognition of your qualities. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to reflect on these moments. What actions or virtues led to this praise? How does it align with my values? This exercise isn't about feeding the ego, but about embracing the part of ourselves capable of making a positive impact. Have you ever found yourself frozen before a decision, even a simple one, fearing a wrong choice? This hesitation signals something deeper, a lack of self-trust. It's like standing on the edge of a diving board, knowing you need to jump but unable to move. Stoicism offers guidance through this fog of indecision, teaching that wise decision-making doesn't rely on guaranteed outcomes, but on using wisdom and reason. While we can't control every outcome, we can control our approach, aligning choices with our values, acting with integrity, and accepting whatever follows as part of life's natural flow. Why do we fear choices? Often, it's because we dread making mistakes, but Stoicism invites us to reframe this. For Stoics, every outcome, good or bad, is a chance to learn. There are no failures, only lessons. Embracing this perspective allows us to trust ourselves to make choices with confidence, knowing that each experience adds to our growth. To build this self-trust, begin by aligning decisions with your values. Ask yourself, does this choice reflect my integrity? By rooting your choices in reason, you can feel assured that regardless of the outcome, you've acted with purpose and understanding. Stoicism emphasizes accepting and learning from each result, fostering self-trust and resilience. Stoic philosophy also teaches the art of discernment, knowing where to direct mental energy. Constant self-criticism is like trying to steer a ship while ignoring the tides. Stoicism tells us that perfection is an illusion. The real goal is progress. But why do we often fall into the trap of harsh self-criticism? We tend to set impossible standards for ourselves, standards we wouldn't apply to others. We forget that being human means making mistakes and learning from them. The Stoic approach to self-compassion isn't about excuses. It's about treating ourselves with the same kindness we'd show a friend, recognizing that setbacks are part of life, not reflections of our worth. When we stumble, the Stoic response is to ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve?" Embracing this perspective means seeing our journey not as a quest for perfection, but as a continuous process of growth and understanding. Every effort we make, every attempt we take, even those that don't bring the results we wanted, is a step forward. Our mantra becomes progress over perfection. This isn't about settling for mediocrity or becoming indifferent to growth. Instead, it's about pursuing improvement with a realistic understanding that growth is often non-linear, filled with challenges, and beautifully imperfect. Why is it so easy to fall into the trap of comparison? Part of it is simply human nature. We instinctively measure our own value and achievements against others. Yet in the age of social media, this tendency intensifies. We're constantly exposed to snapshots of others' lives that only show the highlights, not the low points, leaving us to question our own worth and experiences. Stoicism offers a valuable remedy to this issue, fostering self-awareness and gratitude for our journey. It encourages us to focus inwardly on our own growth, virtues, and progress. This isn't about isolating ourselves or disregarding others, but rather drawing inspiration from them without diminishing our own value. Stoicism teaches us to admire others' virtues and successes without letting it detract from our own progress. To overcome the comparison trap, we can start by practicing mindfulness, recognizing when we compare our behind-the-scenes moments to others' highlight reels. We should remind ourselves that social media is a curated gallery, not an authentic reflection of life. Additionally, Stoicism emphasizes focusing on what we can control, our efforts, attitudes, and virtues, allowing our unique journey to flourish without needing external validation. Gratitude is another essential piece. When we appreciate our own experiences, challenges, and achievements, we become rooted in the present, recognizing the richness of our own lives. This doesn't lead to complacency, but empowers us to pursue improvement from a place of contentment, not inadequacy. Have you ever delayed starting that course, picking up a new hobby, or even prioritizing self-care? Many of us have, and it's not merely about lacking time or resources. Often it's because we fail to recognize our own worth, as if telling ourselves, "I'm not worth the effort." Stoicism, with its profound insights into human nature and ethics, challenges us to view self-improvement as a form of self-respect. The Stoics believed that our capacity for reason and virtue sets us apart, and that cultivating these qualities brings fulfillment. Seneca compared life to a garden, which, like our inner world, requires consistent care to thrive. Ignoring personal growth is like neglecting a garden. Both will suffer without attention. So why do we hesitate to invest in ourselves? Often, it's because we're drawn to instant gratification over long-term fulfillment, or struggle with self-esteem. Stoicism counters this by asserting that everyone has inherent worth and potential for virtue. Investing in ourselves, whether by learning, exploring hobbies, or practicing self-care, is a way of acknowledging that worth. How can we begin investing in ourselves according to Stoic philosophy? It starts with a mindset shift, viewing self-improvement as essential rather than optional. It's not about making drastic changes, but making small, steady investments. Simple actions like reading about a topic of interest, meditating for a few minutes daily, or enjoying a hobby can be transformative. Stoicism also stresses the value of self-reflection, helping us identify our strengths and areas for growth. This process of self-reflection and goal setting isn't just about achieving external success, but about aligning our actions with our values and cultivating virtues. Lifelong learning, another key Stoic principle, reminds us that wisdom isn't a destination, but a journey. Adopting a curious mindset transforms self-investment from a chore into an adventure. True validation comes from within, from living in alignment with our values. The Stoics believed that the only things truly within our control are our actions, intentions, and responses. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted that it's not others' opinions that disturb us, but our own judgments about them. Why do we seek external validation? Often it's due to insecurity and a deep fear of inadequacy. In a world that constantly tells us what we should be, do, or have, it's easy to lose sight of our own path. Stoicism, however, encourages us to redirect our focus inward, to cultivate our character and live with virtue. It teaches that real peace comes not from fleeting approval, but from knowing we've lived true to ourselves. Breaking free from the need for external validation begins with self-awareness. By recognizing our tendency to seek approval, we can question our motives. Are we pursuing a goal because it aligns with our values or because we're chasing applause? Stoicism emphasizes regular self-reflection to examine our intentions and ensure they're grounded in our values. Another Stoic practice that combats the need for validation is self-sufficiency. This doesn't mean isolating ourselves, but finding contentment within, recognizing that we're complete as we are. Epictetus stressed focusing on what's within our control and releasing what isn't. By cultivating inner contentment, we become less reliant on external sources of approval. Stoicism also redefines success, not as external achievements, but as living according to our values. Success from a Stoic viewpoint is the pursuit of virtue, rational action, and resilience amid challenges. Imagine standing in a dense forest with unclear paths, struggling with each step, whether in a toxic job or a draining relationship. Often, our reluctance to leave stems from believing we don't deserve better. Here, Stoicism serves as both a mirror and a map. The Stoics acknowledge the impact of our environment on our ability to live virtuously, but they also emphasized our responsibility to shape our surroundings and choose our associations wisely. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that inner peace isn't determined by external conditions, but by our responses to them. Why do we often remain in negative environments? Frequently, it's because we underestimate our ability to change our circumstances. We may cling to what we know, fear the unknown, or doubt our own worth. Stoicism challenges these doubts, urging us to recognize our inherent value and the control we have over our choices and perspectives. It encourages us to question any belief that we're stuck and helps us realize that, often, we have the power to transform our environment, or at least our perception of it. Stoic philosophy equips us with tools to face and change our surroundings. A key Stoic practice is to cultivate resilience and self-reliance. This isn't about becoming indifferent or detached, but rather about fortifying our inner citadel, as Marcus Aurelius described it. With a strong inner foundation, we can hold true to our values, even amid negativity. Strengthening our inner selves makes us less vulnerable to external toxicity, empowering us to make choices that support our well-being. Another guiding Stoic principle is to live in harmony with nature, which includes seeking balance within ourselves and with our surroundings. This approach encourages us to seek or create environments that nurture our growth and happiness, understanding that we deserve respect, kindness, and positivity. Practically, fostering this type of environment might mean setting boundaries in relationships, pursuing new career paths, or surrounding ourselves with supportive, uplifting people. It also includes cultivating our personal space with practices like meditation, journaling, and hobbies that sustain our mental and emotional health. Why does fear so often grip us? Usually it's because we're highly aware of what we might lose. Our minds conjure images of failure, wasted time, and potential judgment from others. Stoicism acknowledges these fears, but invites us to ask, what might we gain? It encourages us to weigh our fears against the chance for growth, fulfillment, and pursuing our dreams. For Stoics, The pursuit of virtue and excellence is valuable in itself, regardless of the outcome. A Stoic practice to overcome the fear of chasing dreams is negative visualization, or premeditation of evils. This involves envisioning worst-case scenarios, not to dwell on them but to reduce their power. By considering possible setbacks and accepting that we can endure them, we often find our fears less intimidating. This doesn't mean ignoring risks, but rather facing our dreams with balance, understanding that failure is just a part of our growth journey. Another Stoic concept that inspires us to chase our dreams is amor fati, or the love of fate. This idea encourages us to embrace life's challenges with enthusiasm. Pursuing our dreams with amor fati opens us to all of life's experiences, successes, failures, joys, and disappointments as valuable parts of our journey. This acceptance frees us from fear's hold, empowering us to move forward with courage. Stoicism teaches us that true worth isn't measured by accomplishments, but by our dedication to virtue and self-growth. It reminds us that our true value lies in striving toward our goals with integrity and diligence. The fear of pursuing our dreams is not just a barrier to success, it's a barrier to living authentically. Why do we forget this core Stoic lesson? Partly because we have a natural need for connection and validation, which can drive us to seek worth in others' opinions or in achievements. But Stoicism teaches that true worth comes from living in accordance with our values. Epictetus said that freedom isn't found by fulfilling our desires, but by reducing them. This applies profoundly to our sense of worth. True freedom and contentment come from acknowledging our inherent value. Stoicism encourages us to turn inward, to appreciate our virtues, efforts, and resilience. It involves practicing gratitude for our character and abilities, seeing these qualities as the true markers of our worth. It also means learning to detach from others' judgments and the transient nature of accomplishments. This perspective isn't about apathy, but about understanding what truly matters. Our struggles often stem from comparing ourselves to others, seeing only the highlights of their lives while knowing our own behind-the-scenes realities. This comparison, driven by the idea that happiness is limited and only deserved by some, can lead us to doubt our worthiness. Stoicism challenges this notion, teaching that happiness isn't a reward but a way of living. It encourages us to align our actions with our values and find joy in the pursuit of virtue. Stoicism empowers us to focus on what's in our control, our thoughts, actions, and responses. This shift allows us to create happiness through our choices and attitudes, unanchored from external conditions. To embrace this approach, we need to shift our narrative about worthiness. Happiness isn't conditional on success or others' approval. It's found in living virtuously, making the best choices, and appreciating the present moment. Furthermore, Stoicism underscores gratitude. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we move from a sense of scarcity to one of abundance, enabling us to see the value in our daily lives. It also emphasizes the importance of community. Happiness isn't a solitary path. By fostering connections and mutual support, we affirm our worthiness, both individually and collectively. Through Stoicism, let us view our lives as a canvas upon which we can paint with resilience, virtue, and happiness. Remember, you are the architect of your life, the creator of your happiness. The journey may be tough, but it's rich with opportunities for growth, joy, and fulfillment. You deserve happiness, are capable of achieving your dreams, and are worthy of all the love and success that awaits you. To keep embracing this Stoic approach, remember that every day is a new opportunity to align with your values, to live with intention, and to cultivate an unshakable inner peace. Stoicism teaches us that life's challenges are not obstacles in our path, but rather stepping stones that can lead us to deeper strength and wisdom. When we confront life with this mindset, we become resilient architects of our own experiences, ready to transform adversity into growth. One of the most powerful aspects of Stoicism is its emphasis on gratitude. not just for life's obvious blessings, but for the difficulties too. The Stoics believed that each challenge is a lesson, a chance to refine our character, and a reminder of our resilience. By embracing gratitude even for the struggles, we shift from a mindset of resistance to one of acceptance, empowering us to face each moment, however difficult, with courage and calm. Another essential Stoic practice is focusing on the present. As Epictetus wisely observed, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Worrying about the future or dwelling on the past robs us of the present moment, which is the only place we truly have control. Stoicism teaches us to release what we cannot change and to focus our energy on what we can influence now: our actions, our attitudes, and our reactions. In practical terms, this might mean setting daily intentions, reflecting each evening on how we aligned with our values, or even starting each day with a brief meditation. These practices remind us to act from a place of purpose, to live each day as if it were a miniature lifetime, filled with opportunities for growth and gratitude. As we journey forward, let us continue to seek wisdom not only in our triumphs, but also in our trials, knowing that every experience contributes to the resilient, virtuous lives we're building. Stoicism doesn't ask us to be perfect. Rather, it asks us to strive for excellence in each moment, to live with courage and clarity, even when faced with uncertainty. So as you go about your day, remember the Stoic invitation to live deliberately and joyfully, embracing the path as it unfolds. Let your thoughts, actions, and words be a testament to your commitment to growth, kindness, and resilience. You are worthy of happiness, capable of remarkable achievements, and above all, deserving of the peace that comes from living in harmony with yourself. If this message has touched you, please like and share this video with others, spreading the wisdom of Stoicism to help everyone recognize their worth. Thank you for joining Marcus the Stoic. Until next time, live courageously, love deeply, and pursue the joy that's your birthright.